Hi, it's Paul from Derivan, and today we're just going to have a look at creating an abstract painting from oils. But before we do that, I just want to have a little chat about some abstract painting. So what makes paintings in general work comfortably in our mind's eye? Okay, so I've got two here. So if we have a look at this first one, if I was to cover up the top half of it, can you see that the bottom is way too busy? So there's too many shapes that are of the same size, the same shape, the same importance. Once we introduce a change or discord there, we can see that the elements or the pieces of the picture translate much more comfortably in our head. So the other odd thing is that this will probably work if I turn it this way. It probably won't work if I turn it one more. And it probably won't work as comfortably if I turn it again. Okay, so none of that is magic, but if we can think when we're creating abstracts, things that do make them work or not work. Okay, so in our everyday life, when we're inside, we're confronted with clutter and then calm, as in a ceiling. When we walk outside, we've got landscape or environment and sky. So in a painting, we have clutter and calm. Okay, so when we have these elements as busy and calm, our brains tend to process those much more comfortably or much more readily. Have a look at this other one. When we cover up the top that is larger pieces, and we've just got all these smaller pieces, the bottom of the painting becomes a pattern rather than a painting. So once we introduce that discord or that change, it starts to become a comfortable chain of sequence of shape and colour. The other thing we need to do is introduce a tonal change. So if we have a look at this far one, if we take out this blue and this turquoise, the rest of the colours there are all warm. So we need to introduce a colour discord in order to make the picture dance. So let's have a little play. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to go straight in with paint. With abstract, I tend to always just straight in with paint. I need a starting point, so I've got a still life set up over here, which I'm going to do, and we're only using that as a guide. I'm not trying to duplicate it. So I'm just going to pick a colour, and I'm going to go green because I actually never go green, so just for something different. And I'm just going to have a little draw. So I'm starting with a little bit of a green line, and I'm just using the still life as a guide only. And what I like to do is do it as a continuous line, like a contour drawing, and just link the shapes together. Remember, they don't have to represent what's there. We're translating what's in front of us in paint. It's our reaction to a space or a time. So the drawing is just there really for us to fill in. And as we fill it in, I'm not even using the correct colours of the objects in front. I'm choosing colours that I feel are going to work side by side, as well as not distorting the pattern that I originally started with in the first drawing instance. I quite often like to add lines through. Linus interruptus in this type of work is important to anchor things, to link things, and to take the viewer through the painting. The blocks of colours link the shapes together, and the colour contrast and the colour discord all help to make colour bounce. We don't have to plough in more bright yellow to make something yellow, or bright green here. That slicker red next to it will help it look bright green. So use the opposites on the colour wheel to your advantage. Add enough line and enough spaces to make the objects work. Now I find that as I'm filling in the shapes here, I like to fill in all of the canvas. If it was on paper, I don't mind paper showing, but being a canvas, I do want to fill in all the shapes. So I'm still thinking design here, as well as just colouring in shapes as such. We don't want it to be a colouring in process, so add patterns as you go, if need be. Doesn't mean that an abstract can't be formed on just pure big shapes, but I like to add designs and movement to those shapes. For me, it helps carry the viewer through the image and give a sense of space and some sort of lineal quality to the actual painted area. As you're filling in the shapes, make sure that we adjust those subtle tones and just gentle areas of the picture so that there's not all of high impact. These subtle pieces dropped in help to create a much nicer sort of contrast and make your brighter colours appear brighter without having to fiddle with them. If we were to just put these in really bright, it wouldn't give us the same impact. So once you've established all of your shapes, you've filled them in, just give it a rest, step back, stand the painting up, have a look at it and enjoy the process. It may need some more line work, it may need some more tone somewhere, but don't go overboard and have a bit of fun. Thanks for watching.